Cough,
Let's
cough.
I think that's a good gateway or segue to the next topic. Um, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys were here for the last podcast episode, there was a heated debate going on regarding Apothecary Diaries and whether it's underappreciated. So, obviously, sometimes you guys know how BS is. Sometimes, if the debate is heated enough, it transitions right to the Discord, and then it continues, it inflames, and now we want to revisit for round two. So, I'm gonna
And the reason it
allow.
was in Discord.
Go ahead. I'm gonna allow you guys to go crazy. Random, Lonnie, whoever else wants to participate. Taylor, go ahead.
You guys go first because when I start talking, it's gonna take a while. So go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. So
It's going to take a while because you're
I
going to
don't
be
even want-
moving
I
the
don't even want to really
goalposts as you're
discuss.
talking.
I don't even want to discuss the whole argument in Discord because that went on for a very long time. But to sum it up, I needed to understand what would need to happen for Random to feel that Apothecary Diaries is not underappreciated. So I asked him, I was like, what would, because I was like, it's top 10 in manga sales, it's top 10 in views in the world. It got nominated for Anime of the Year twice. It has 3 projects coming out. Well, One Piece is the only one that has at least 3 coming out this year. Is that Apothecary Diaries? They get all this money, all these projects. I think there's even talks of a video game coming out in 2027. So I asked him, what would make it properly appreciated? And he said, I'll read word for word. I want the great talk around the series to last, and I am not confident it will. As time goes on, it will be routinely featured anime underrated lists like various other series I have listed above. Despite the fact that a lot of people have watched it, bought the manga, and praised the series, that is my answer. Now, if you look up what underappreciated is in that answer, those don't really connect. He's talking in the future. He thinks it's going to fall off. I don't know how that means it's currently underappreciated. If he's talking about like in 2030, it's going to fall off, or 2045. Hey, in 2060, we might not be talking about One Piece. I don't know. I'm not in Steins Gate. Apparently, Random can see the future, but he's saying it'll be underappreciated in the future. That's why it's underappreciated now, and that's why we don't appreciate it. So, yeah, like I said, it's top 10 in sales. It's top 10 in views, nominated for Anime of the Year twice, 3 projects. Only one other anime on the planet can say that. To me, I think it's it's like a powerhouse. It's now considered the best slice of life, along with like Blue Box. When Ty looked up on TikTok, I don't know if you kept on doing your analysis. It had more mentions than Gachakuda. So, it's not really given underappreciated. It's giving one of the biggest anime on the planet. Oh, and it was just the most watched anime in the place that makes anime. That sounds properly appreciated to me. But
And if
Also-
we want to talk about like truly underappreciated like shows, there are actual truly underappreciated shows. One of them being Tanya the Evil. That's an amazing anime, but it literally, first of all, isekais are a thing now. When it came out, they weren't that big. Even now that they are that big, guess what? Still not an appreciated anime for what it is. But you're talking about Apothecary Diaries, which has, I can literally scroll for days on Amazon to find a cosplay of. I can literally scroll for days and find videos and edits of this. It's all over the internet. It's the top watched anime in Japan. It was nominated for Anime of the Year, but it's underappreciated. But it's getting a movie. It's getting a whole other season. It's getting a live action. Like, what are we doing here?
if this was 2024, I'd understand. Even if this was 2025, okay. But as time moves on, things evolve. So in 2024, when it was nominated for End of the Year, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's this thing nominated with Freerin and JJK? Let's check this out." What happens if you look at the volume sales and stuff like that when it gets nominated? Oh, it got spikes in popularity, got more views. What happened the next year when it was nominated again? Oh, I keep on hearing about this Apothecary Diaries. Let's check it out. What happens? More people watch it, more people read it, more. The fandom grows and grows. So from 2024 to 2026, it became from underrated to now one of the top anime properties on the planet. You might as well call Sakamoto Days or Kaiju number 8 underappreciated. Oh wait, Apothecary Diaries makes way more money than them.
Y'all done?
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Hey, Random. It's me. It's your boy. I'm usually not with you, but I'm with you. They're talking about the corporate stuff, it getting all sorts of production.
I never brought up corporate stuff. I was also talking about in the cosplay.
I didn't interrupt when you spoke. I didn't interrupt when you spoke.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Real quick before you go, Miles, $2 super chat from Angie Carr. But could Apothecary Diaries beat Goku? That is the goal.
And Angie, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's the point that Random's making in all of this. Y'all are so focused on the money and the production and how many products it's doing and the cosplays and all of this stuff that when Random is specifically highlighting a topic of conversation, right? We can use our own Discord as an example, and sure, that's a little bit of an echo chamber. Nobody talks about that shit unless we're specifically talking about slice of life, right? They're not comparing it to the One Pieces. They're not comparing it to the Gachi Akudas. They're not comparing it to the 2B Hero X's. They're not doing any of this comparison to any of these series we all know and love. The JJKs, the Blue Locks, the Dadadons, you name it. It's stuck in its own little niche. Is it excelling within that niche? Absolutely. Are they putting a lot of money behind it in that niche? Of course. But when we're talking the grand scheme of the topic, which is what Random's talking about, which is the discussion around the anime, unless people are doing one-to-one analysis or talking about chapters or dissecting the MC or any of those sorts of things, we're talking about conversations of anime.
Is he frozen for anybody else?
I'm frozen now?
Your body was frozen, but we could still hear you.
Your voice is still going.
Yeah,
we could hear you the entire time.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care what y'all see. As long as y'all hear what I'm saying.
We can hear you. We can see you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. Random is cooking. I'm on your side, brother. Nobody's talking about this shit, bro. And if we're going to sit here and think because it's making a whole bunch of money and it's doing all of this stuff, there's millionaires all around the world we've never heard or seen. I bet they feel pretty underappreciated. We don't know who the fuck they are. Nobody cares about Apothecary Diaries. Well, let's be for real. It's not a topic of discussion. I don't care about mentions. I don't care about all of that shit because that can all be skewed in the way that media is presented. I don't care about that shit. When I go to any forum, Discord, Facebook, IG, all of this stuff, and they're talking about anime and they're making graphics comparing anime, Apothecary Diaries is not there. And that's Random's point. Go ahead, Random. Cook these niggas.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Thank you. So that's why I was bringing up genres in the Discord, because genres matter, because it's in a slice of life, and the things that you're bringing up are shonen, which are in a much bigger, more widely watched genre than a slice of life. So the slice of life making it outside of that little bubble and being talked about.
Easy cook. Easy cook. Are slice of life underappreciated?
I don't think so.
All
right, Random.
But once again, because also there's two
super chats. Can't wait to see this upcoming DBS news coming up on Friday. Love the pod and shout out Bama from David Williams, and then Santo. I can count on.
Well, before you go to the other one, what DBS news is he referring to?
And I saw Black Bum post about it on their Instagram. I was curious.
It might be.
Oh, so it's like there's an announcement that news is going to happen on Friday.
Yeah,
is that what's going on?
So apparently, a big announcement for DBS is coming on Friday.
But
okay, maybe it's the manga coming back because it's been a while.
And
what's the next super chat, real quick?
Santo.
Oh, Santo, I can count on one hand how many times we on this channel have spoken about Apothecary Diaries. That makes money, but we don't talk about this.
But that's also on y'all as a podcast. Y'all have the ability to talk about whatever you want. Y'all
and why don't we? And why don't
because we? That's on y'all. Why am I answering that? I'm not in your podcast. But y'all talk about shonen all the time.
Why? But why though? But why?
How can I answer that when I'm not
You don't
in
want to
your
answer it
podcast?
because it's gonna make our point. You don't want to, Lonnie. Why do we talk
To be
about
fair,
shonen,
to
Lonnie?
be fair, Miles, there's other big manga that we don't talk, like Kagurabachi's like the number one shonen. We don't talk about
Ty
Kagurabachi.
represents it all the time. He talks about it all the time. We don't talk about it because not all of us have read it. But all these other shows
Not
that we'll
all of
talk
you guys
about.
have watched Apothecary Diaries.
And Lonnie, I'm gonna ask you again. When we other than this first time just now when I presented the question in our group chat, why was Apothecary Diaries never the focus before?
Because we don't focus on slice of lives.
Why?
All right.
Because that's
Real
something
quick, Miles.
people that
Real quick, Miles and Lonnie.
For.
So this is why I'm going to pause. I'm not going to include myself. The only reason why I'm going to pause is Random needs time to do his thing. I know what he's about to do, so he needs some time. So let Random do what he got to do.
All right, hold on a second. Okay. All right.
Bama, you having fun? Well, hey, Bama, we'll get into some of the other stuff, but they had to get this off their chest.
No, that's good. I'm enjoying this right now.
Okay, so I got tired of this, so I just decided.
Let me change the screen for you, Random. Let me change the screen.
Please. So, you guys heard exactly what Lonnie said about my Apothecary Diaries being the most watched anime. Lonnie is not lying about it being the most watched anime in Japan. You could argue, and based on what I'm going to present here today, you could argue the number one series in Japan was Apothecary Diaries. Like Miles said what we said, just because a series sells well does not mean it is actually appreciated. Once again, just look at the top 10 list that Lonnie has said. Just look at the top 10 list that he posted about everything that's sold in Japan. We haven't heard of like 3 of those things. I didn't even know Orb existed until Lonnie's talked about it 20 minutes ago. So I'm gonna answer the question: Is Apothecary Diaries underrated? Was it my bad? Underappreciated. I believe so. I believe yes. Lonnie believes no. So I'm just gonna go through it to the best of my ability, and don't worry, guys. I will put breaks because I anticipate you guys will have questions. Lonnie, you told me to come back with actual numbers, actual statistical evidence, and I'm also going to break down the evidence that you shared in the Discord as well. Because at the beginning, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to be fucking petty. That's what I wanted to be, because everybody was taking shots. My therapist was mentioned shit, but hey, man, we good. I brought it up. I entered the therapist thing in here. It's a free shot. So I was like, you know what? Let me do it. So while in the interest of being petty, I actually learned some stuff that I think we should all know. And also, you're going to understand why, like, also I'm going to answer, you're going to understand why Netflix also sometimes, even though a series is watched a lot, why Netflix doesn't approve it for another season. So and be honest with you, I was going to put on the blue suit. I was going to put some music on. I was going to get fucking petty as possible, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to answer you with cold hard facts, Lonnie, because I quote, hold on, I did not interrupt at all. I did not interrupt at all. So you say, Lonnie, that you deal in logic, so I'm going to present logic, and hopefully that's okay. And trust me, Taylor, you will have your time. I put 3 breaks in this thing, and this is actually the shortened version of the presentation I made. The first presentation I had, Riddell, you saw it. It's much bigger than this, but to make it a lot easier, I'm just going to present this. Taylor, know what? Since you have a question, go ahead, Taylor.
All I said was, does that say slide 1 of 43?
Don't
That's
worry,
all I
we're going to
said.
zip through it.
So the hostility was not needed at all.
Okay.
I wasn't being hostile towards you. I was literally just saw that and just said it out loud.
I apologize, Taylor. I apologize. I apologize for being hostile. You're right. I apologize. Okay. All right, let's do it. So, is Apothecary Diaries underappreciated? And we're just going to start off at the beginning. You already heard the backstory from Lonnie. I believe it's underappreciated. Lonnie does not believe it is not. So my argument is, despite the fact that Apothecary Diaries, like Lonnie said, is a very successful anime with many accolades to its name, it isn't appreciated by the anime community as it should be. And shout out, thank you, Ty, for kind of succincting my argument in the Discord. And but like I say in here, I'm gonna have to refine it so I can understand my argument here. I also spelled argument wrong. So here's Lonnie's argument. He said, Apothecary Diaries is clearly appreciated by the anime community due to its record viewer numbers, manga sales, and awards. And you can see here, I screenshotted, like Lonnie going from the Discord. I also screenshotted some stuff to put in there. Like Lonnie said, we're in 2026, not 2024. By every metric, Apothecary Diaries is a major hit. What's this love that it's not getting? We just keep going. So I want to be 100% honest about my argument. I'm going to say it again. I want to be 100% honest about my argument. I believe, despite its success commercially and critically, the anime community does not appreciate Apothecary Diaries the way it should.
Super chat real quick, random. Hey, I love the effort. I love the effort. I'm rooting for you because of the effort. We got a super chat real quick.
We got 2 for real.
We got another one by Jaden. Petty random.
Oh, first I got to read the first one. I thought Lonnie was about to read it.
Okay, my bad. I'll just do Jaden and I'll do Angie's. Petty random equals 81 point Kobe. 2 fire emojis. Fight back random. And Angie Carr with another $2 super chat. PowerPoint. Okay, random. We get it. You went to college. Yeah, but this is also I'm trying to prove a point here, but also I think this is some knowledge we should all understand.
Can I ask a question?
Quick question before anyone goes. So, because I'm just reading this first thing, you said it's saying that's not my actual argument, and I was rightfully confronted. And now you're saying now that I have refined my argument, so it's saying that you're wait. Are you saying that you changed your argument and now?
No,
the definition is crazy.
Lonnie? What does refine mean?
I'm just saying. So you've updated your original argument. I'm just trying to clarify. You've updated your original argument.
I was rightfully confronted.
That's what I'm reading. I'm like, wait.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at like this is so serious. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just trying to
W random, bro.
Move on. So like, you're saying that you like
you just got to respect the humility. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I respect.
The only thing I said, because when never mind. Go ahead.
I was actually gonna help you out here, random. Basically, what he did was the points that we corrected him on and confronted him about, he removed those points because that was no longer valid within his argument. So he just refined it, essentially. That's what refining is.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, random.
No, because this is my problem when I
random. I'm rooting for you. Keep going. Gotcha.
This is my problem when I have debates like this.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. Never mind.
Go random. I'm muting myself. Go.
So when this is my problem when I have debates like this, because like you guys know, I'm a very loud guy. I'm a very passionate dude, and despite I know what I think in my head, but it's not what I'm saying out loud. When I'm talking about it being that's why I also in this, I want to give Lonnie as much props as I can, because I want this to feel like it's fair. I'm not doing this to just dunk on him. I'm doing this to also freaking educate at the same time. So when I said it was not about it being better than, let's say, like a Frieren or Spy Family or even like a Radiant. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that despite the fact that it is so, like, it does so well commercially, it is not appreciated by the community. Okay. So if I go to the next one, here is a list since Apothecary Diaries came out of all the different accolades that it has won. It has been nominated for 13 Crunchyroll Awards. I'm not counting this one that's coming out because it hasn't happened yet. So I can't update these numbers. The only thing I can say is Lonnie lied. It has not been nominated for Anime of the Year twice. It probably will be when the 2026 Crunchyroll Anime Awards come out. It was only nominated once. It won Best Actor, Best Japanese Voice Actor of the Year from the Crunchyroll Awards. The manga has sold over 45 copies of its light novel and manga as of this month. It also won the next prestigious Next Manga Award, which is won by a ton. Like, I'm talking Kaguya-sama in 2017, Spy Family in 2019, Kagurabachi in 2024, and also, like you see on the bottom, the fun fact: the first anime or first series to ever win this award is My Hero Academia in 2020.
Hey, shout out My Hero and Kagurabachi, man. Right. And Ichi.
And yeah, come on.
Ichi too. There's really a ton, in the way they do it. They split it into print category and they split into print and web. Spy Family won for web, while the Spy Family won for web. Kaiju number 8 in 2021 won for web, but Kagurabachi won in print. My Hero won in print. So these are the three things that Lonnie posted in the Discord to support his argument. Okay, these are pretty good. They're pretty straightforward, but there are some problems with this. But let's start with the first one, which is the first image on the left. So I really have nothing to say about this because this one is mostly right. Some of the numbers are a little bit like off, but I just think maybe the person rounded up or rounded down, Riddell, just to kind of make it easier for somebody who's reading this on Instagram, because this is where Lonnie got it from, was Instagram, and he probably screenshot it and put it up. But it's clearly right. Like Apothecary Diaries on my anime list was number 4 as one of the most watched anime of 2025. Okay. So let's go on to the next one, because one thing I'm gonna say is just using the numbers that Lonnie presents, it doesn't tell the whole story about the anime community appreciating the series itself. So the next one is, what about this one? This one is talking about, oh, this is amazing. Look at how many manga copies that Apothecary Diaries won. It's like, you're telling me it's close enough. It beat out Kingdom, Medalist, like Sakamoto Days. It's up there with One Piece. JJK must have killed it, right? The problem with this image right here is that it's misleading. It's straight up misleading. So here's the actual full image. It's the first half. It's the first half of 2025 manga sales. That's what this image is. So I took the liberty of going and finding the full manga sales for the year. So One Piece is at the top. JJK's right behind it. So ironically, Apothecary Diaries and My Hero really fell off towards the end of the year. And it was overtaken by Kingdom, Blue Box, Blue Lock, Sakamoto. Like, I think, but it's still top 10. So it is still very notable that this was how much it sold in Japan.
7 to 8, not bad. Okay.
So if we go to the next one, though, so I'm just like, why am I doing this? Because I'm doing this because besides the fact that I want to be petty at the level of the petty master, I also, like Lonnie did say, I need to bring more than just my feelings to this debate, and that's exactly what I did. And also, let's not forget, his wife also had some words for me to say, and a couple guys in Discord, and I wanted to post all these up so that we can clearly understand where they're coming from. So, real quick, does anybody have any questions about anything that Lonnie has presented?
I love this, Brandon.
Yeah.
This
Does anybody have anything like, I want you guys to truly understand where Lonnie is coming from, so that when I go into my diatribe, you guys will understand why I'm taking the stance that I'm taking. Does anybody have any questions?
So as
Shout
far as,
out Kai Skeezy for getting a shout out on the podcast, by the way. Go ahead, Ty.
so I'm about to say, for the manga sales part, I don't know how much I liked that point, just because of the standpoint of, depending on, sales fluctuate throughout the year based on when volumes drop, like during the year. So like if a volume drops, let's say that you have a manga, like a lot of times you have like usually 3 books per year, sometimes 4, but usually standard is 3. But let's say a series drops only 2 volumes in a year, like at the beginning of the year, so the sales will naturally tail off. But the fact that it's still 2.2 million, that is, it's like that's not like that's
it's incredible.
So I guess saying that, well, it went from 7 to 8 and it's still top 10, but it's sold 2.2.
It also only dropped 1 spot, so like
I got you.
But it's like, but 2.2 million. That's a top tier selling manga still. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I definitely get what you're saying.
I like the this presentation is amazing, Ram. Good job. I'm actually engaged. This is engaging.
Hey man, but the real thing he did there is, Lonnie's a liar, man. Try to make it seem like that was the whole year. No, liar.
I'm not saying that about the first part of this presentation. It's just that Lonnie, I think Lonnie in his haste just posted some wrong stuff, but it still supports his argument. I want you to understand that it still supports his argument, right? That's why I made sure to put.
Is it really wrong? Because it's still 2025. Like, he didn't say that it was for the entire year. He just pulled up stats that he found. Which,
to be fair, it was wrong. It was not the whole year. I don't remember how I worded it, but it was not. It was not
wrong. It was misleading. But like I said, I
was being so respectful.
Yeah, I got to you. I guess my only thing is that I low key think it helps him, because instead of selling a 1 million a year, sold 2.2.
Hold on. Yeah. I also just want to point this out. It doesn't matter that Lonnie's my husband. If he's in the wrong, I'm gonna call him out on the wrong. I'm not biased. I'm talking about in the chat.
I'm not trying to put you.
No, Random, not you. There was somebody in the chat that's
talking about Jaden. Jaden's trying to help Random out. I respect it. Jaden's also a hero. So
no, Random, that wasn't directed to you. It was a comment in the chat.
All right. So let's so those are the first 2. Let's look at the next one. Exhibit A, my first exhibit, is the Netflix numbers. Now, the one thing I'm gonna say before I start, it was very hard for me to find any concrete global viewership numbers for Apothecary Diaries. The only company that had any kind of viewership numbers was Netflix. Lonnie used it in his third image, but let me tell you right now, it's fucking wrong. It's wrong. So let's start.
Get that nigga.
Let's start here.
Don't do that.
Nigga,
So you
I'm a
can't really
hero,
do this.
and I'm on random side.
Well, I'm
Get that nigga.
How are you a hero?
Get that nigga.
So
Heroes
as we're
come in
looking
different
here,
sizes, shapes, and temperaments. I'm a hero.
so we're looking here. Here is the image that Lonnie posted of the top 10 most watched anime in the first half.
Not gonna
As
lie,
you
I was
can
just
see,
posted at that point.
I know you guys can't really see. This was apparently this image was sourced from Netflix, and it's like the top 10 anime watched in the first half. So why are these numbers wrong? I literally did all I did was put this into Google and ask if the numbers were wrong. Google straight up said it's partially misleading and appeared to be unsourced from fan edits. The thing is,
oh, you did use Google AI.
yeah. So I used AI to kind of help me because I got the numbers myself, and then I put them together using the AI because it's just a lot easier. Yes, Moon Peaches.
Oh, so you have the actual
So
numbers?
you got the actual numbers yourself.
I have the actual numbers.
Okay, because I was going to say AI will just say stuff to say stuff, like to get you to, like, its whole thing is to get you to keep talking to it. So it doesn't even like actually check facts. It just will.
So the reason why I used Google and its AI instead of like Chat GPT, because Google tries, at least it attempts to credit where it gets its numbers from. So when I tell you I spent 2 days kind of figuring this out, going on multiple websites, some were even in foreign countries. So the problem why these numbers are wrong is because let's just look at the top. One Piece, it has 344 million. The problem is it supposed to be views? Because it's not views, but because the actual numbers that Netflix reports, which actually views, are different numbers than what they are here. And I actually went to the actual Netflix report that they released. Netflix released itself to talk about the top 10 most watched anime of the first half of 2025. And the reason why we're focusing on the first half is because that's when Apothecary Diaries was running from, and you will see the actual time it did. So to make it easier for you guys to see, here's the actual list. I cleaned it up just so you can see it. One Piece, obviously at the top, no surprise, at 334 million. But like I said, these numbers are wrong. And as you see, at number 8, Apothecary Diaries are 117.2. So if we go to the actual one, here's the problem. This image uses hours watched. So before Netflix changed up its metric a few years ago, they used to use hours watched. The problem with hours watched is that it supports TV series. It supports TV series more or longer form TV series more than like a documentary or a movie. So technically, if you look at hours watched, you could say more people watch One Piece than like episode 5 of Star Wars, because more hours were watched in One Piece, because obviously it offers more content than like a Star Wars, right? Now, I did include an example, and like you see there on the bottom, hours watched naturally favors long content. So, like for instance, the Last Dance, the Jordan documentary, that's long form content. But if somebody's watching like Space Jam and you try to compare it to try to agree which one's more popular, the Last Dance always is going to win, because more people, there's just more things for somebody to watch compared to like Space Jam. So I actually included an example of 2 of the biggest hits that Netflix had last year. Yes, Moon Peaches.
I want to point out, you're having these links and we can't press the links.
I can press them for you. I can
I'm
press them
just
for
saying.
you. I'm just trying to get through
You're
this.
saying click here. And
Taylor, he has 43 slides. Let him get through the damn slides.
So to answer why Netflix uses views as its metric instead of hours watched, because it provides a more relatable audience size. So it just makes it easier for people to understand why Netflix chooses something over something else, and not just, oh, this is how many people watch, or this is how long people watched a certain show. Netflix is actually trying to figure out how many people actually watch the show instead of watch. Because to be honest with you, Taylor, you could watch Ultimatum, watch one episode and leave, but that's going to count as an hour toward you watching the whole Ultimatum series, because that's how Netflix does it. They calculate the whole series of something. So it's obviously unfair for like Ultimatum, which has multiple seasons and spinoffs, than like, I don't know, Insatiable, which only has it's only one singular series. So, and here's the actual formula that Netflix uses as its thing. So it's total hours divided by total runtime equals views. So here's a tangible example. Stranger Things season 5. One of the most popular things It's actually right now top 10 in most viewed property ever on Netflix. That's how big Stranger Things season 5 was, despite the fact that it had Lonnie crashing out last week. Now, Back in Action, I've never seen the movie, but a lot of people on Netflix loved it. The runtime is it's a little bit under 2 hours, and the runtime for the 5th season is almost 5 hours. And then here's the hours watched. So according to this, if I just use the hours watched, more people actually watch Back in Action, just the hours watched, compared to Stranger Things season 5. And here's the actual equation. Here's the actual equation to actually figure out the actual number of views. With Back in Action, 165 million views compared to nearly 60 million views for Stranger Things season 5. So there's a whole thing into it. Just kind of here's the things. The reason, Lonnie, I did this is because I'm also going to give this to you so you can read it yourself, you can understand. But I broke this down in a way to make it a lot easier. So in summary, Netflix stopped measuring how long we actually watch something and started measuring how many of us actually watch it. So if you only look at total hours, the TV show, okay, I actually messed up, but we're going to go on to the next one. Here are the actual Netflix numbers for the first half of last year. Naruto's number 1 at 40 million views. Studio Ghibli is at 39 million views. Apothecary Diaries is at 7.8. I actually went and got the actual list of total number of where Apothecary Diaries actually ranked, because they after 10 Netflix stopped, so it was actually harder for me to do it. But on the actual number of how many in the actual rankings of total of how many people watch worldwide, I didn't just stick to Japan like Lonnie did. I did worldwide because Netflix is a worldwide property. It ranked number 213. Mashal, more people on Netflix watch Mashal than Apothecary Diaries. Mashal had almost 8 million views. As you can see, Attack on Titan, I don't even know what Anpan is, but more people watch that than Apothecary Diaries. And the rest of them, now the other thing with this metric is that it also favors more legacy. That's why Detective Conan is up there, 38 million views, Pokemon, One Piece, 7 Deadly Sins, Sakamoto Days. The only thing is Sakamoto Days freaking killed it, because that's all that is in 1 year, and it's just one season.
I do have a quick question.
Yes.
Because I know in different regions, not everything is licensed. So is Apothecary Diaries like licensed in all the major countries?
So the only thing was, this is only season 1. At the end of 2025, season 2 was started to be licensed across, starting to be licensed regionally. I couldn't confirm exactly which place it was, but this is just season 1. Now, the only reason I'm using this because I couldn't even find like the numbers that you posted in your image, because that's only season 1. It's kind of, season 1 is available everywhere. So that's where we're going, right? And then season 2 is available at the end of the year.
And was this only for 2025?
Only the first half of 2025. Just the same time period that Lonnie posted in his image. So Lonnie, somebody lied to you. The person who put that is literally lying to people, because Detective Conan wasn't on the list. Pokemon was a lot lower. One Piece was not number 1. Naruto was number 1. More people on Netflix, the global wide brand, love watching Naruto more than One Piece.
And that's
you take that how you will.
Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. So let's take another break. Does anybody have any questions about the numbers that I did?
This break time's
no questions, but I do have to ask random.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer is the rest of the slideshow?
I'm gonna knock
because we don't want to be here for a very long time.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna knock it out.
Is Apothecary Diaries on Netflix in the US? Because I didn't watch it.
Yes, it is.
I was gonna say we didn't watch it on Netflix.
Yes, it is. You can watch for sure. Season 1 is on Netflix right now. You can look it up. You can watch it right now on Netflix. But season 2 is region locked. I don't understand why Netflix just region locks things for some reason. So if you got a VPN,
every company does that.
No, I know, but I like I said, I cannot confirm nor deny, because if you have a VPN, you can watch it technically anywhere.
So I'm cooked on Netflix, chat.
So number 2 is social media. The thing that when Ty posted his one image from that one day last week of how on TikTok more people searched Apothecary Diaries and got Yakuda. Apothecary Diaries aired from January 10th of last year to July 4th of last year. That's it. And it ended at the end of the year, at the end of the season. A third season was announced along with the movie. That's all of it's supposed to come out this year, right? So why am I using social media? Because that's what Lonnie used, basically. So I'm just doing the same, so I cannot be accused of fudging numbers or anything like that. So Now to make it is so this is something that people use to find what is the total buzz. Like total buzz is like this, it's like this equation that people use of, like it said, combined social media mentions, viral videos, discussion threads across X, TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, and YouTube. The reason why I did not use Facebook is because of Facebook groups, and there's a Facebook group on for Apothecary Diaries that has almost 500,000 people in it. It's closed, like it's private, so we can't get any numbers from there. Mind you, these are all, every number I'm about to present here is to the best of my ability to estimate and getting them from the actual numbers, and I'm going to break them down here. So I'm starting from the start of 2025, going all the way to last week, because I just did it till last week, because I don't think the numbers are really going to change from last week to this week that much for it to really affect the thing. So let me tell you this. Lonnie said it. Apothecary Diaries dominated in Japan across all the regional things. It was the number one most streamed anime series in Japan. Like I'm telling you, across all its regional things, like Amoeba, Unext, these are things like basically it's like Amazon Prime and their own kind of version of Netflix. It freaking killed it there. I'm telling you, so like One Piece, all that, it freaking killed it there. It sold well there. The problem is Japan is not the full anime community. The full anime community is global. Like Lonnie said, he wanted to focus on global, so I focused on global. So here are the top 25 winter anime from last year. The top anime from winter 25 of last year ranked by total buzz. Remember, total buzz is a mention of social media mentions, viral videos, explanations, all that across various platforms. Solo Leveling cleared. Solo Leveling cleared everything last year. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. Cleared everything last year across whatever thing you want to watch, across platforms, across social media. It freaking cleared. The craziest part is, hey, Apothecary Diaries came in at number 5. It's crazy. What's that at number 3? Let me stop. Because now I'm starting to be petty. But Apothecary is still top 10. Now in the spring, it took number 1.
No one said free.
Please, because we have to get through this. In spring, Apothecary Diaries took the lead by itself, still stand there by itself. Solo Leveling still number 3, despite the fact that it stopped airing. It only did 12 episodes, so it only ran through half of its actual season, and it still came in top 3. Now the next one, here's where I had a problem, because Apothecary Diaries technically ends depending on the cutoff of when the summer anime starts. So if you talk about it, so the first numbers I did, where I'm just talking about what anime sold well, and I just change it up. So if I move the summer anime back a week, Apothecary Diaries is included, and that's why it's number 2. If I move it forward a week to where Google says it started, it's not on the list at all. Nobody talked about it in the summer. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna add it onto there so people can understand just how popular it was. All right. In the fall, nobody talked about it. Right. In the winter this year, nobody talked about it. But hey, it's the start of the new year in anime. For number 1, most people were excited about it. So I'm just going to skip through this because as you kind of see, for half the year, people were talking about Apothecary Diaries in every which way they could across multiple social media platforms, all that. But here's my problem here. So I'm going to review everything Apothecary Diaries did last year. It achieved tier 1 status in Crunchyroll. That's the best I could find. There was no there was no actual way for me to actually get the actual numbers from Crunchyroll because it wasn't released. It achieved tier 1 status. That's like these are anime that Crunchyroll. These are the anime that Crunchyroll believes that this is just great. We believe in it no matter what. It's number 1 anime in Japan. It was nominated for Anime of the Year. Sold 1 million copies of his light novel. It was number 1 light novel in Japan. Number one anime on My Anime List, and numerous other awards. So here's the top 10 anime from winter 2025 to last week. Right. So Solo Leveling number 1, One Piece number 2, Frieren number 3, Apothecary Diaries is number 8. And if you're talking the whole time period through. Right. And like I said,
Random, do me a favor. Can you back up to the previous ones? Because I was looking at something real quick. Oh, back.
How far back do you need me to go?
So that's winter. Okay. All right. The one before that. You said that fall. Gotcha. All right. The one before that. Apothecary Diaries to be Hero, Lord of Mysteries. And then the one before that. All right. Freeman to be Hero. All right, go forward one more time.
Forward to summer
To be
or
Hero.
to winter.
All right, go forward. Oh, okay. All right. That's what I thought.
So here's the top 10 numbers. So I'm gonna clean some things up because this first one is insane. Do I really have? It's a hot take, but it's dumb because you guys, in the interest of being nasty, where it's straight up. Do I really have to prove that Bleach is more appreciated in the anime community than Apothecary Diaries? Let me tell you exactly what Bleach did last year. Bleach
Isn't it relative to my fault? My fault.
No, so Ty, Bleach released no content last year other than an announcement that the final core was coming out this year, and that just by Total Buzz itself, freaking took up. It literally oversold. It literally overtook Apothecary Diaries in terms of total buzz and total mentions, right? So the monster, I was just trying to be funny because at that point I was just so done with this. So and I'm also going to compare it to Freerin here. So when Lonnie said,
real quick,
yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. I don't even have anything to say for my mom's were underappreciated. I was trying to think of something that was underappreciated at the time. Random, my mom was complaining about work, and that one works 15 to 16-hour days, about 7 days a week. So,
and quick question, because when I was looking at the slides, when you go from season to season, besides Apothecary Diaries, other ones that were on the list disappeared off the list as well. So wouldn't that just be the norm
at the end? I'm going to explain it at the end.
Okay, because that just seems like that's the norm of anime culture, because other things in the list also disappeared as the seasons went on.
I'm going to explain at the end. Okay. So we're going to, so at this point, we're comparing Freerin to Apothecary Diaries. The reason why I compare Freerin to Apothecary Diaries, and I think we all should, is because they are very similar in a lot of ways. And you can add Spy Family onto this too. They're led by female protagonists, right? They have a great love story that people want to see. The story itself is so intriguing that people are like, this is amazing. We want to support this as well as we can. Mind you, at the same time, Lonnie was telling me that Spy Family broke records. It's one of the top things in fiction. And I sat there, I'm like, Lonnie, I don't even have to defend this because you understand what that means in fiction. It's one of the best stories in fiction. That's what you said in the Discord. I need you to understand what that means in fiction. That means Star Wars, because that means Star Wars, One Piece, fucking Arcane, all that stuff. It doesn't. Spy Family, as of right now, kind of ranks in like the bottom of the top 100 anime sold of all time. But that's all I'm talking about. We're just going to stick with Freerin here. Lonnie said that Apothecary Diaries is a bigger fandom than Freerin. That it was a lie. It makes more money than Freerin. They made about the same last year. It has more projects. You got me there, Lonnie, and he was nominated for more things. That's also a lie. In 2025, just using the Crunchyroll Anime Awards as a whole, like I showed you guys before, how many Apothecary Diaries had 13 nominations at the Crunchyroll Awards. You guys will not be able to get how many Freerin was actually nominated for. You will not be able to get it. I will give you guys 3 guesses. You will not.
Was 24 awards?
Yes, Freerin was nominated last year. How many?
24.
More.
6, 7.
35. Shut
less,
up.
But
go put yourself in timeout right now.
Shut up.
Go stand in a corner.
So Apothecary Diaries was nominated for 29 awards at the Crunchyroll Awards. It literally set the record for the most nominations for a single series in an award show.
Oh, shoot, I was close.
So when we're sitting there, let me just let you guys know right now. Last year, Apothecary Diaries released its season 2 of its anime, 6 light novels, 1 in Japanese, 5 in English, 30 manga chapters, 8 of the main manga, 12 an alternate version, a spin-off manga, and it should also be noted that the artist for Apothecary Diaries did take a hiatus, a 3-month hiatus because of their health, and also they were literally fighting a tax evasion case at the same time, right? Also, last year alone, approximately Apothecary Diaries generated over $30 million in revenue. If you compare it to Freerin, I will tell you exactly everything that Freerin released last year. 8 manga chapters, and a spin-off light novel on December 18th of 2025, which debuted at #1 and a season 2 announcement. That's it. And Frieren also made $30 million last year with 8 manga chapters and a spin-off light novel at the end of the year. So the fandom is bigger because more people talked about Frieren when he didn't air last year as an anime than Apothecary Diaries. It literally made the same amount of money as Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries had more projects, which means this is what I sit there and say, because people just think just because the anime is not running, that does not mean content's not coming out. Apothecary Diaries is a light novel series. That's what it is. That's what it mainly is. It has a manga that's following the light novel and a few spin-offs. So despite all that, Frieren beat it with a bigger fandom, made just as much money, had significantly less projects, and was nominated for more than double just using Crunchyroll Anime Awards alone. You're right. This isn't 2024 and 2025. The only reason I'm saying that, besides the fact that it just fell off randomly, if you look back and see Frieren, which was in its off season in winter 2025, literally people cared about it more. People talked about it more, despite the fact that it literally was not giving us any content at all. Because at the start of winter 2025, it was on hiatus. That's what it was doing. At the end of and then even when the Apothecary Diaries was at its peak in spring 2025, Frieren was still top 10. The reason why I bring all these things up together is because just because we already know this, just because a thing is successful, it sells well, people do not talk about it. It literally fell off to the point, and this is where I realized where my thing is. When I look at Apothecary Diaries, I realize that I look at it differently than you guys. I do not. The reason why I fought back against your Moon Peaches, your genre caveat, because Frieren has clearly proven that it does not. It literally the slice of life caveat that you put up, it shatters it. And yet,
what genre is Frieren?
It's a fantasy slice of life.
No.
Yes, it literally is.
It's literally considered also a shonen.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not. Frieren is not a shonen. Spy Family is more of a shonen than
I'd still consider it a fantasy, but I wouldn't like fantasy.
It's literally a fantasy slice of life.
It literally is considered a fantasy slice of life shonen manga.
This is nasty because it's literally a slice of life.
Genres right here: shonen, fantasy, demons, monsters, slice of life, drama, magic, adventure.
It is not. Okay,
let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Semantics. Shonen is also not a genre; it's a demographic. So it can be a slice of life and it can be a shonen.
So let me ask you guys a question. Of all the big shonen that we all know, does Frieren fit into that model at all?
No, but I would say it's a fantasy series, but fantasy is still different than slice of life.
It is published in a shonen magazine.
Frieren is not on
yes.
Yeah, it's all weekly. It's on a different Shonen Jump. But the point that Riddell just made is the point that matters. That's the point that matters. It's not about who it's catered towards. That's not what we're talking about. Y'all are talking about the vibe and the overall feel of the. That's you talking about the vibe and the overall feel of the show. And
it's a fantasy adventure. Like it has slice of components, but it's a fantasy.
It's closer to a slice of life than anything else that's considered a shonen.
He was going.
I agree with that. That's why I'm saying I consider it a fantasy series, but it's fantasy with.
But he was going off of my thing where I said the genre of something matters when you're talking about it in this type of discussion, and he said that it doesn't. When it does, when you're talking about comparing it to these other genres that are not in the same genre as it does matter.
But the reason why I said that, and like Lonnie has promoted, that genre doesn't matter because it was a number one series in Japan last year. Genre did not matter. It did not matter critically, commercially. It did not matter. That's why I'm fighting against it. It did not matter.
But it still does.
No, it doesn't. When you've seen it critically, nobody. Okay, let me use this. Let's use a contemporary. I'm just going to use our like Miles said. I'm going to use our podcast as a viewpoint. Just as an echo chamber. When we talk about Blue Lock, have we ever after we all got hip to it, were we ever talking about Blue Lock saying that, oh, this is great for a sports manga? No, we don't. We talk about it as one of the best series out. J-Rob routinely comes on this platform and says Isagi is one of his best, is one of his favorite MCs. He doesn't just say it's one of his favorite sports anime MCs. It's one of his favorite. It has crossed the threshold where like Blue Box, like Spy Family, like freaking Medalist last year, a show about figure skating outsold most shonen. It outsold it. More people. Do you want to know the number one thing that people in Japan watched on cable television? It wasn't One Piece, it wasn't Blue Lock, it wasn't My Hero Academia, it was Medalist. That's what they watched. A show about a kid, a little girl learning how to figure skate. So genre doesn't matter. So I'm not going to sit here and limit Apothecary Diaries to it just being a freaking slice of life when it's shown that that doesn't matter. So why are we going to do it? Why are we going to limit it now when it's clearly shown you that people support the series because people support it more than just it being a slice of life? Because it's not that. People don't look at it like that. Yet when people talk about it, when I compare it to its contemporaries, this is the only time when I talk about Apothecary Diaries where we want to limit it to it being just a slice of life when it's shown that it's not that. So why are we doing it to Apothecary Diaries now when it's shown that it's not that? It's not that at all. It has clearly crossed that threshold. I'm not talking about Rascal Dreams Over Bunny Girl Senpai. That's a slice of life.
If it's crossed that threshold that you're claiming that it's crossed, then how is it underappreciated?
Because people don't talk about it.
If it's crossed the threshold, then clearly
then why don't we talk? Then Taylor,
this is your podcast. How many fucking times do I
talk about it?
I don't control what you guys put on your podcast.
Taylor, I'm going to use myself because I'll be the first person saying this is not cap. Bama, this is not cap. Nobody talked about apothecaries on this platform until I did. When we talk about the best series
on y'all as a whole, then
there's a reason why none of us talk about it.
Underappreciated.
What other podcasts talk about Apothecary Diaries?
What do you want to? Let me hold on. Let me give you an example. You want to know the last? Let me give you an
point.
Example. Trash Taste.
Somebody talk about this shit, man.
Yeah, Trash Taste is one of the biggest anime series out. One of the biggest anime podcasts out. Is that not true? Trash Taste.
You say that it's underappreciated on your podcast. You don't say that it's underappreciated in general, especially if you're also saying within the same breath that it's outreached this threshold.
Trash Taste is one of the biggest anime podcasts out. Can you guess the last time they talked about Apothecary Diaries?
I don't watch that podcast.
2024. That's the last time they talked about it. The last time. So I'm not going to sit here. Trash Taste is literally us on Super fucking Saiyan 4 anime podcast steroids. That's what Trash Taste is. And they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. So for some reason, we want to sit here and pretend that it's only pigeonholed into this little thing. We only pretend that it's pigeonholed into this little thing, slice of life, despite the fact it's shown, and despite the fact that it's shown that it has outgrown this box that we put it in. Let me find a fucking box real quick. Let me find a fucking box.
Random, you don't gotta find a box, bro.
This is the slice of life box. It doesn't. Apothecary Diaries got literally taken out of here and thrown out the box. And despite that, niggas do not talk about it.
So they
don't talk about it. We don't talk about it at all, despite the fact that it's shown all these things. So I'm sitting here going, and I'm just gonna read the rest. And all
real quick though, y'all do see the point he's making though, right? It has all of the IPs that a series that should break this box has, right? It has all of the viewership that a series that breaks this box should have, right? All of these things y'all are saying, the money it's making, all of this stuff that it's garnering is supposed to surpass this slice of life box, but it's still in a slice of life box. That's his
exactly.
Point.
When I
see that, right?
That's the only thing I've been saying this whole time. That's why I refine my argument so in a way so that I'm not saying that it's better than something. That's not what we say. That's not what we say at all. I talk about it like it's one of the best series out because that's what it is. Yet when we come up on this platform, we do not talk about it unless I bring it up. Lonnie, I had to put you on Apothecary Diaries so that you could put Moon Peaches on Apothecary Diaries.
First of all, I was on my list. Don't act like he put me on anything.
You're busy, but trust me. Once you what happened once you turned on? What happened once you watched the first episode, Taylor? You couldn't
do that with everything. I do that. Okay, that's not a point. I do that with everything. I'm being so honest. That's literally not a point with me.
Fine. I sit here and I sit here and at the end of all this, what I learned, what I understand, Google's explanation of why it is unappreciated is because they're flasher things, which is true. Like Fire Force is flashier, My Hero's flashier, all these things are flashier. It doesn't matter. Apothecary Diaries literally performed better than all of them, except for One Piece, JJK. That's all it did, except for those. It's not even the number one slice of life in Japan. Oshinoko was. Blue Box was. But I'm sitting here I'm getting annoyed and frustrated because Miles, thank you for saying it, because you said it way better than I would. It does not belong in this box that you put in. You got to adjust your mind to that. Lonnie, to give you, I'm going to give you two last examples, and I'm going to be quiet because, as you can see here, despite the fact that people wholeheartedly support the series commercially, they don't talk about it enough because it's like the best way I could describe it is like people are gatekeeping this shit. It's like people are gatekeeping this. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, go ahead.
Can I be completely honest with you?
Go ahead.
It's toxic it's the masculinity aspect of it. What man is going to go around saying, "Oh yeah, I watched this love anime"? Like,
people do that with Frieren. People literally do it with Frieren. Literally do it with Frieren.
It's not that it's underappreciated, but it's that currently right now, and I see this a lot with like my nephew, is that Random, do you have something to say? Because I can pause my point real quick.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
Is that because of people like Andrew Tate, like Jake Paul, the toxic masculinity, the like all of this stuff, like, yeah, it is kind of on the whole toxic masculinity shit. Like, and I'm not saying this to redefine, to like move a goalpost or anything, but you're talking about why isn't it talked about and why is like the fighting anime talked about more? Well, one, because a lot of this discourse online is also younger generations now, but also this is a love anime that nobody's really going to talk about. It wasn't until a few years ago that BL was really talked about online, because before that, at least in America, let me redefine that, because I know in Japan they love that shit. But like that, the online culture also does play a point into this.
Taylor, I would agree with you if maybe them people are either lying for clout when some of that group is literally buying it more than the fighting ones.
Yes.
It sold more than them. It was reviewed more than them. They supported it commercially more than them. If it didn't, I would agree with you, but it doesn't. Frieren, it's literal contemporary, freaking sold the same amount, despite the fact for 8 months out of the year it was on hiatus, on the second hiatus that is still ongoing. It's not just toxic masculinity. Sure, that plays a part. That plays a part with everything. That plays a part with something like this. But people literally support it. That's why I go against it, because we don't talk about it like it's the way it's supposed to be. The anime community doesn't, despite the fact that they take out their wallet and fucking pay for it all the goddamn time, but they don't talk about it. You want to know exactly what Apothecary Diaries is? You guys watch more basketball than me. But this is just what I saw. You want to know what Apothecary Diaries is? It's Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has been having a magnificent season this year. Has he not, Lonnie? Let me tell you right now. Other than Rusty Buckets and Lonnie, I have heard nobody else talk about the great season Jaylen Brown is having. Yet when we're sitting here, when we are sitting here, we don't come out here and say that. Now, we're not going to come out here and say that. Oh, hold on. Let me go to my notes, because I'm trying to do this off my head.
Yeah, I'm finna watch this. I'm gonna be the judge of Apothecary Diaries, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to the end of season 2 and you're gonna scream.
Random, I've been convinced. I will be watching this.
Yeah,
good shit. Apothecary Diaries is elite.
Yeah, let me finish this last point. I said, like I said, Apothecary Diaries is Jaylen
I've
Brown.
been waiting to talk.
The NBA community knows that Jaylen Brown is a good player. He's balling out of his mind right now. Yeah, like I said, every time I talk about Apothecary Diaries, why is not talk? Because there's always somebody better. If Jason Tatum was healthy, people are saying Jason Tatum's better than him, despite the fact that you could argue, if you look at the stats, if you look at how he's playing, you could say he's arguably the best two-way player in the game, despite the fact the man literally said it himself. But we all know that is not true. We all know that is not true, because the NBA community knows that is not true. Yet that's why they don't talk about him that way. I don't understand why why, despite the fact that I literally sat here, I disproved the genre argument. I disproved that Apothecary Diaries is great. We should not look at it as just being a slice of life. We should look at it as one of the best anime series out. And then the last fun fact: Tokyo Ghoul, Lani, has sold 50 million manga copies.
Why are we bringing Tokyo Ghoul into this?
Listen,
Attack them
please.
directly. Exploit a weak point.
Tokyo Ghoul has sold 50 million copies worldwide, manga copies worldwide.
Never
Apothecary
getting a
Diaries,
remake.
the way it's going, Apothecary Diaries could surpass it next year. It's only 5 million copies away right now. It's only 5 million copies away. So pretty soon, like you said, you don't compare Tokyo Ghoul to JJK, you won't be able to compare Tokyo Ghoul to Apothecary Diaries. Yet guess what? The community still holds Tokyo Ghoul in a higher regard than Apothecary Diaries. They talk about it more. And I'm sitting there like, we don't say, oh, Tokyo Ghoul is just because it's a horror anime and all that. We talk about Tokyo as one of the best anime. So I'm just sitting here like, what are we doing? Miles, is what I'm saying easier to understand? Is what I'm saying easy to understand here?
All right,
I think it is.
Pause. Let Lonnie and Taylor, you get the final words. Then we got to move on.
Okay. I would just like to say that I feel like Miles and Santo both tried to save him from this last week, especially when Miles said on the pod. You would clearly see Lonnie smiling, right? Like even Miles is like, Lonnie's trolling. But I digress. I am so proud of Random. First off, before I get into all this,
don't run, nigga. We don't want to hear it.
No. I'll interrupt you because I'm not gonna let you get away with it. You gonna
don't run, nigga.
I'm not gonna say. I understand that you rage baited me. I get it, but also I did this to literally teach you something here because I'm sitting here and saying, oh, it's one of the best series out, but nigga, you don't talk about it enough, despite the fact that you see it. I'm just using Echo Chamber. Riddell, when we talk about Apothecary Diaries, who talks about it first?
Who talked about it first? You talked about it first.
When every time we bring up Apothecary Diaries, randomly, because Riddell starts doing it too, but we are an echo chamber for some of the community, right? Yet when we talk about Blue Lock, we don't hold it to a sports anime standard, right? Ty has been glazing Blue Box since jump. He doesn't hold it to just a slice of life standard. And the sales prove it that. So why are we holding it to just a slice of life standard when it's shown that? Yet for some reason we want to do it to Apothecary Diaries, by the fact that doesn't matter in this conversation anymore. It's one of the best series out. It should be talked about as one of the best series out. It's literally passing greatly reviewed legacy anime right now as we speak.
Can I ask
right
one
now
question about it though?
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Ben.
Bama.
Is there any fighting in it?
No.
Toxic, toxic masculinity.
No, that is
That's
not
what
okay.
I'm talking about when I'm talking about.
That's
No,
not
I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
I'm trolling. Actually, Shonen is the most popular demographic of story.
What I wanted to talk about on that was that it literally, so the entire anime community watching it takes about 36% of all viewership, right? And of that 36%, 20, what is it? The engagement for shonen is 79%, but slice of life has a higher completion rate when it comes to watching and reading the animes and mangas than shonen does, but shonen has a higher viewership than any type of slice of life.
Yeah, I agree to that sentiment. I mean, we see the conversation with people like Solo Leveling because fights flashy. We definitely get that.
I completely agree.
Bama, it's still really good regardless. There's a lot of strategy though. You know, you're the football head. You love schematics. You love to see people outwit the others. Mal, one of the geniuses out there.
Because what I would say, what is it that would reel someone in? You see what I'm saying?
There's three different stories happening all at once, and it's literally it's the way that they stack on top of each other and become a whole story together.
Gotcha.
Wait, Bama, do you like Free Run?
Okay, it started out slow, but it's some of the scenes in there that had kept me, when she started using the magic and how she killed old dude that tried to come up in her.
There's no like killing and stuff.
I don't know, everything I know of you, I don't think Apothecary dies.
I don't think Apothecary. There's no fighting or action.
Bama, I believe in you.
I can do it, bro. So, but this is what it is. I grew up.
I'm just saying, Bama, based on what I know of you, I don't think you're kind of serious.
No. Hold on. Bama, me and you talked. You're expanding your anime viewership.
I'm trying to
break it out of your box.
What it was though, this is what I was trying to tell people. I know for at least majority of the kids in America, we grew up on Toonami. And what did that show? A bunch of Shonen Jump, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam Wing, you know what I mean? I didn't even know anime had these other type of genres until, you went on Crunchyroll. I'm like, oh shit, what's this? You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, ain't no fighting in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? Like, I thought anime was just fighting, but the whole time it's like different genres to it. And, like the second season of Vinland Saga, it took me a second to warm up to it, but it was actually, good. Because I was like, I needed one more war before this one, but it actually was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right.
Huh?
All right. So,
all right, Lonnie, you got the final word because he's been on the sidelines a lot.
Yeah, I've been letting him go. So before I get nasty. Okay. 46.
Are you about to rage bait? Because if you rage bait, it's gonna
I want to get more than 2 sentences off before I get cut off. That's what I want. I'm just trying to.
I mean, fair. Let's see. Let's lock in.
Random,
go ahead.
Random, you put in a lot of work. I see the dedication. I see the love and effort you put into it. You did a great job. In my perspective, you kind of helped my case. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Everything, most of the things that you put, I'm sorry, Apothecaries is like top 10 almost everything in almost every list that you provided. So it's like,
why don't people
let Lonnie go. Let Lonnie go. Yeah.
Here's why I say, here's my counter argument to Miles, where I say genres and target audience do matter. Does anyone know who Hudson Williams or Connor Story are?
No.
Can anyone name them? Because they might have been like the most impactful 2 actors of like the last 3-4 years. Did anyone ever heard of them?
Nope. They sound underappreciated.
I'll explain. So the last few months, there was a show on HBO that's been number 1 on HBO called Heated Rivalry. Damn. It's taken the world by storm. When I say the world by storm, I mean in multiple different areas. Heated Rivalry is a boy love hockey show. Do you know how big it is? It's affected the NHL market. It's made athletes come out. It's turned 2 non-actors into global A-list superstars overnight. They've hosted the Golden Globes. They just did Fashion Week in Mulan. Why don't we talk about the number 1 we talk about Game of Thrones all the time. Daenerys, the actor that plays Daenerys Targaryen. Do you know what she was? I think she was on Jimmy Kimmel like last week. Do you know what one of her questions was? Hey, have you watched Heated Rivalry? Oh my God, Heated Rivalry! It's so big that other people, when she's promoting her new show, she's getting asked about a show that's taking the world by storm. NHL doesn't even know what to do right now because of Heated Rivalry, because we all know that they're not big fans of
toxic
DQ or whatever. But hey, it's bringing them more money, it's bringing them more fans, bringing them more attention to the sport. Most sports companies like NFL, NBA, they usually dive into that. NHL, they don't know what to do with it. My point is, Heated Rivalry has been the most talked about show for the last 2 months, and we haven't talked about it once. Why? Because we're not the target audience. It does not mean that it's. I would not say. Hold on, Miles. I would not say Heated Rivalry is underappreciated because it's the number 1 most talked about show on the planet. We don't talk about it. We talk about all the other big shows. We talk about Welcome Dairy, which was number 1 before it came out. We talked about. My point is,
you got it, bro. We stay locked in, Lonnie.
Folks. I'm glad you're doing that, Miles. Because Miles, what was the beginning of the conversation from last week? That Apothecary Diaries is underappreciated. When I asked why it was underappreciated, what was his original statement? Or what was the statement? Oh, because in the future it's not going to be talked about. Now I'm glad
Hold on. I'm not done because I stayed silent. I'm glad that he did all this. I'm glad he did all the homework. I'm glad he did all the research that he did not have when he did the original argument. Now that because this to me at this point is a second argument. So like how he moved the goalpost around, I'm just having the same energy. To me, it's not underappreciated because it's top 10 in almost everything. And yeah, number one in Japan where they make anime.
This is some Josh Allen shit you doing right now, Lonnie.
Hey, it is, but I'm a villain. I have to be nasty. As 3 projects coming out, the only one other than that is One Piece. Sounds like it's recognized and appreciated. In my opinion, having 3 projects and only one other anime can say that, being top 10 in sales, views, all that. To me, in my opinion, the way I view things, it's not underappreciated. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. If it's top 10 in everything, along with all the shonen series, if it's number one in the country where they make anime, doesn't really sound underrated, underappreciated to me. But that's just me. That's just me.
So
we're not the target because at the same time, because he mentioned other anime podcasts. Does that anime podcast have a big female base? I don't think so. I'm off the top of my head. I know we don't have a big female viewership base because not unfortunately, females are another big part of the market. We don't talk to the other big female creators because if I look on their shit, they talk about Apothecary Diaries. They talk about Free Run because that is the shit that attracts them and that's the shit that they go to. So when we go to cons, guess what? We're gonna see a lot of Apothecary Diary shit from the female because that's their shit. That's our shit is the shonen shit, and I'm fine with that. So yes, we as men may be underappreciated Apothecary Diaries, but at the same time, half the people up here haven't watched Apothecary Diaries, so we're not going to talk about it.
I also just want to point out a comment that somebody put. Sorry.
Kagurabachi is like one of the top. We don't talk about the chapters that we did like with JJK and My Hero because we haven't read the shit. So it's like if that's not. So does that mean that Kagurabachi is underappreciated? By the anime community, I think the anime community loves Kagurabachi.
It might be overappreciated. Shout out to Bachi, man.
So we're gonna get into Ordeal in a little bit. Ordeal's been picking up. I see more and more big Black anime creators talk about Ordeal. Is Ordeal as an overall whole underappreciated? Maybe on this podcast it is, but overall, it's starting to get the proper respect it deserves. My point is Apothecary Diaries started off as an underdog, in my opinion. Yeah. And then it grew, and now it's a powerhouse. Objectively, by all the stats that you provided, it's a powerhouse. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna give. Sorry, Random. We do have other things.
He just ended with a lie, though, Riddell.
But going back and forth.
Lonnie, random. I'm not gonna lie. You don't gotta say nothing else.
He just ended with a lie. Like even
let it be.
Riddell, let me say one last sentence, please. Let me say one last sentence. I
did want to give Taylor one more chance to say what she had to say.
Okay, go ahead
as well. Because Random, to be fair, you had a presentation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Taylor, did you have something to say?
Yeah. So it's definitely talked about more at cons and seen a lot more at cons where a lot of the anime community gets together and actually like communicates and everything like that, not just online.
Let it rock. Let it random. Let it rock.
I didn't see no Apothecaries, nothing at the Comic Cons.
Oh my god!
I went to Comic Con in New York. I didn't see.
That's Comic Con New York. I'm talking about
it's like the biggest con. It's the biggest con damn near in North America.
Okay, it's not the only con.
It's the.
But also, as y'all said earlier, I've been sitting here quiet, waiting for my turn to talk.
For sure.
You're saying you saw no Apothecary Diaries at New York Comic Con?
I find that one hard to believe, but
all right.
You have also two prime examples here where Ty straight up told Bam not to watch Apothecary Diaries because it's not his thing. He even just said what he's into is all the fighting animes, which is the biggest genre that there is. And then on top of that, you have Gabe in the chat that said, "Oh, I'm deaf not watching that shit, but Random will never hear me talk bad about it."
Why does it sell? Why does it outsell most shonen then?
What
Oh my
literally
God.
describing sounds like underappreciation.
Mind you, break it.
I said what they're describing sounds like underappreciation. If this show is so great, is doing all of these numbers, it has all of these IPs. This is the same point we've been saying. If it has all of this show, all of this fuel, all of this motion, and Bama, I don't want to single you out, but I think you're a perfect monolith of what I'm talking about.
Because he's
Bama
not the
is-
target audience.
And that's Random's point. He literally
But
brought
that
you an
doesn't-
He literally brought you an example of another series that fits in a similar niche as Apothecary Diaries and surpassed that niche to where the people like Bama, including Bama, have decided to go and watch it.
But Free Run at least
Still
has
has
action in
fighting.
it.
It still has fighting in it.
Then why did Blue Box? Why did Blue Box? Niggas is
that
hooping him.
leans towards it, but that we're not going to sit here and pretend
I
like
would say
the
'cause
focal point
romance.
of Free Run is the action. That's not the whole purpose of the action.
But it's still
I'm
an
gonna use another series, low key too. Don the God fits in that same mold.
Still
It's
has fighting in it.
Yet, sure, but the demographic of the typical shonen, demographic that we've been talking about is not here for a romance, right? My favorite anime of all time is E7. Nobody fucking watches that shit because it's a romance. That's Random's point. It's not transcending the box it's put in, therefore it's underappreciated. That's literally a definition.
Riddell,
But also,
Riddell.
and then my last point was going to be, Random, if you feel like in the anime podcast space that it's underappreciated and not talked about enough, this is your perfect chance to do something about it.
I've been doing it. I've been doing
Then
it.
create.
I've been doing.
Well,
I'm not.
give me some
So,
praise
so,
too.
so,
I
so, so in
praise
order,
myself.
in order for me to make use, I have to create a whole nother anime podcast just
I'm
to
not
talk
telling
about
you to
Apothecary
create a
Diaries.
whole other anime podcast. Did I say that? Or did I say this is your channel? You guys have the ability to do something about it. Because you were the one in the Discord telling me about your podcast where I don't control the demographic of it. Y'all do. Santo loves slice of life as well.
Our demographic is football, and we don't talk about football, and there's a reason why.
Like,
Nobody wants to hear us talk about. Nobody wants to hear us talk about football. We talk about football. Nobody wants to hear us talk about basketball. We talk about basketball. There's a reason why that's happening.
We have an interesting demographic. Okay, with that